Today we're going to be talking about the differences and the similarities between autism and narcissism. So this I learned from a video that I watched with Dr. Ramini. People get autism and narcissism confused because of empathy or lack thereof. Narcissists use empathy as like a bargaining chip. So they can have empathy when it works for them, but they can turn it off also when, it doesn't serve them. People with autism will feel sad that they hurt your feelings, whereas people with narcissism, they don't care unless it serves them to be empathetic in that moment because they want something from you. Autistic people, on the other hand, they just don't understand other people's emotions. It's not because they don't want to, it's just they find it hard to understand other people. So for example, they're just extremely straightforward, which is perceived as harsh and cold. I guess I've been perceived that way because, I would rather you tell me exactly what you mean than play guessing games with me because, nobody has time for that. Maybe some people have time for that, but I really don't. My brain does not wish to dissect your nonsense. Just tell me straight. And that's what I do. That's what I do because that's what I want from people. It's probably why I didn't have many friends growing up. People with autism have cognitive empathy deficit. People with narcissism don't have that deficit because they actually do understand, but yeah, they just don't care. They want to protect their ego. Whereas autistic people, if they know that they've hurt you, they care about it and they usually feel really sad about it and want to do something to fix it. But if you're with a narcissist, they put their ego above everything else. Autistic people are not indifferent, but narcissistic people are indifferent when they hurt your feelings. Narcissists are not interested in meeting other people's needs. Autistic people are interested in meeting other people's needs. They just have a hard time understanding what those needs are. Whereas a narcissist understands the need, but they just ignore it. So that's the difference. Basically, the similarities between narcissism and autistic people are the empathy deficits. But again, narcissism is chosen lack of empathy. Autism is not intentional. It's just, they just really don't understand. But if you explain it to them, they will try to fix it. People with autism feel remorse. People with narcissistic personality disorder do not. For narcissists, social interactions are not stressful. They thrive, especially if people are giving them attention. Somebody with autism gets very drained from social interactions. They find social interactions stressful. They can do social interactions. It's not like with a narcissist where they need social interaction for supply, for validation. Somebody with autism does not. They don't need social interaction. They can do it, they can enjoy it, but they don't need it the way that a narcissist does. People with narcissism don't want to understand you, so they make it very hard for you to be understood, whereas people with autism, they take a little bit longer to understand what you're saying, but they actually do want to understand you. They have a genuine desire to understand where you're coming from, but it just takes them a little bit longer to figure out what you're trying to say. So those are some of the differences between narcissism and autism. The reason why it does get confused, again, circling back to the beginning of this video, is because of a general lack of empathy. But if you tell somebody who's autistic that they hurt your feelings, they will feel sad about it and they'll do stuff to try and fix it. They might ask you a lot of questions and they might be really slow in understanding what your needs are because, they have a hard time processing emotions and understanding emotions and things like that. Can't expect somebody who's autistic to just be able to read your mind emotionally, especially. They're not the type of people that would just know. You have to tell them if something upset you, don't play guessing games with autistic people because you won't get anywhere. But somebody who has narcissism, you can explain it to them 1,001 ways and they still won't understand what you're saying. Not because they don't understand what you're saying, but because they don't want to understand what you're saying. They don't want to meet your needs. They're not interested in meeting your needs at all, and they're not interested, in your emotions. They understand your emotions, but they just don't care about them. Autistic people don't understand your emotions, but they care about them and they want to understand. They just, like I said, they take a while. Sometimes. I thought it was really interesting to hear a professional talking about the difference between autism and narcissism, because there were times during my recovery from CPTSD where I was questioning if I was a narcissist, but yeah, it wasn't me. It was a person I was with, or people, because I have a history of being with, well, I don't know, maybe they were narcissists. I can't diagnose them. They could also maybe have been, I don't know, maybe they could have been autistic and narcissistic, because apparently that is a possibility. Dr. Ramini did mention that. I hope you found that interesting and valuable, and let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching, as always, and yeah, I will see you in my next video.